Breaking news on this Sunday morning, a gunman opens fire outside a hotel on the Venice boardwalk. A man drives his car right into a sinkhole, and that's not the only mess this Torrance neighborhood is dealing with this morning. And how did it happen? A tragic night at the ballpark after a fan falls more than 50 feet from the upper deck. And Chris Christie reveals his plan to deal with illegal immigration, and it involves tracking people like packages in the mail.
Live from the Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, this is KCAL 9 News at 7 a.m. Live, local, late breaking.
Oh, good Sunday morning to you, 7 a.m. on this 30th day of August. This is a beautiful shot of the sun up high from our Blue Ridge camera. Another warm day on tap, but cooler than it has been. Good morning, everybody. We're glad that you're waking up with us. I'm Amy Johnson.
And I'm Louisa Hodge. That shot makes you want to go outside, doesn't it?
Really does.
It's going to be a beautiful day outside. Temperatures are still going to be above average, but we're taking them down a little, so not quite as warm as it has been. We're not going to see as many triple digits today. Right now, temperatures in the 70s for downtown, 72, 73 in Van Nuys, 70 degrees in Ontario, and 69 in Oxnard. As we take it through the day today, it looks like our beaches are actually going to stay into the 80s. So good, another beautiful day if you're heading to the coast. Valley zone, not quite as hot. We're going to take them down into the mid 90s. Orange County will stay into the upper 80s. The mountains, comfortable 77 degrees expected. And even the deserts are actually going to stay put into the 90s today. We are going to see a cool down in the coming days. We'll talk more about that, let you know how cool it's going to get coming up.
All right, thanks, Louisa. We are following breaking news. One person is dead after an early morning shooting at Venice Beach. Now police are looking for that killer. KCAL 9's Adriana Weingold is live at the scene. And Adriana, what have you learned about the suspect?
Well, Amy, we've learned that police are still searching for the suspect. They're not sure if that suspect is in any way affiliated with the Cadillac Hotel. That's where this happened. Let me get out of the way so you can see what's going on right now. You can see police down there taking pictures, marking any evidence that they can find. Right now, they say they have not recovered a gun, but we do know that the victim is a man in his 20s. He was killed here on the boardwalk between Dudley and Rose in Venice. The second victim, a man in his 20s, was taken to the hospital with a gunshot wound to his leg. We are told he is in stable condition. Now, police say when they arrived here on scene at around 2:10 this morning, the transients directed them to the victims. They say that people were being asked not to sleep in front of the hotel, and at that point, some sort of argument took place. That's when a man with a gun fired at the transients. We spoke with one of the victim's friends who says he was a good guy. He was a kind man who was actually trying to help her get off the streets. Take a listen.
I was petrified because that was basically my fellow homeless activist. He was a humanitarian, and as a human trafficking victim myself, he taught me how to use appropriate help from the government.
It appears now at this time that this incident was triggered by some sort of altercation here on the boardwalk between locals, which escalated into a violent encounter with someone brandishing a handgun and committing this deadly crime.
And police did say that the suspect was seen fleeing this scene in a black SUV. They're asking anyone with any information to please call LAPD. For now, we are live in Venice. Adriana Weingold, KCAL 9 News.
Also breaking this morning, a water main break in Torrance. The street was flooded, but several cars continue to drive through the mess on Crenshaw Boulevard. But this driver, nope, not so lucky. As he rolled up, the ground gave way. Firefighters were called and they escorted the man out of his vehicle. He'll be fine, but we can't say the same about his car. By the way, we checked and found out there was another water main break just a few blocks away last September. Actor Johnny Depp reportedly became a real-life detective to catch a man spying on women in restrooms. The suspect was an assistant director on a movie Depp was working on. Prosecutors say the man spying wasn't limited to just movie sets. KCAL 9's Andrea Fujii reports.
We know you're in possession of a map.
It was reportedly on the set of the 2011 movie Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides that actor Johnny Depp started investigating an alleged peeping Tom. According to the DailyMail.com, Depp suspected assistant director 38-year-old Kevin Thomas Roy of voyeurism and asked his security detail to investigate. But nothing apparently turned up on a background check.
All hands on deck!
In the meantime, Roy continued to be in charge of all the trailers and bathrooms on the set for the actors, including Penelope Cruz and Judi Dench.
Stay away from her.
He's also worked with Depp's wife, Amber Heard, on The Rum Diary. It was only when Roy's now ex-wife reportedly notified police that she found voyeuristic images on his computer that he was arrested. According to the Daily Mail, he's since been fired from the movie Allegiant, starring Shailene Woodley, the sequel to the movie Insurgent, after he allegedly secretly recorded women in bathrooms. According to the LA Times, investigators said in court documents that Roy's computer contained dozens of videos and hundreds of pictures of unsuspecting women who were showering or undressing on film sets and local shopping centers.
Now, police haven't said which actresses or shopping malls Kevin Roy may have videotaped. On June 26, he pleaded no contest to a misdemeanor charge of unauthorized invasion of privacy. He was sentenced to 3 years of probation. He'll undergo sex offender counseling, but will not be required to register as a sex offender. The man arrested in the murder of a Texas sheriff's deputy claims he's innocent. Shannon Miles has been charged with capital murder in the death of Deputy Darren Goforth. Prosecutors say Miles ambushed the deputy at a gas station. The deputy's wife, Kathleen, told reporters last night that her husband was ethical. He always did the right thing. She wants people to know that he was a good man. A memorial at that gas station is growing. Investigators don't have a motive for the killing, but the sheriff says he thinks it happened simply because his deputy was wearing a uniform. The suspect has a long criminal history. He has 6 prior arrests, including twice for using force against an officer. Tragedy at a baseball game. A fan died last night after falling at Turner Field in Atlanta. This morning, the victim has been identified as Gregory Murray of Alpharetta, Georgia. He was 60 years old. Police say he fell during the 7th inning of the game between the Braves and the Yankees. He somehow fell from an upper deck to a lower one. First responders treated Murray at the scene and rushed him to the hospital where he died. The game was not delayed. A dark day on Broadway. The first African-American and youngest person to ever play the role of Jean Valjean in Les Miserables has died. Authorities say 21-year-old Kyle Jean-Baptiste fell from a Brooklyn fire escape Friday night. Les Mis was Jean-Baptiste's Broadway debut. He joined the cast as the lead's understudy this past May. Powerful winds are being blamed for 2 deaths in the Seattle area. A man was killed yesterday when a tree fell on top of his car. Police say his 3-year-old daughter was in the car with him but was not hurt. In a separate incident, a 10-year-old girl was killed when a tree limb fell on her. She was playing outside at a friend's birthday party when it happened. Witnesses say the branch fell so fast they didn't have time to react.
I was talking to my friend, and then the tree must have hit her head, and then she started bleeding, and then she just died.
They were all just here playing, and she's gone. It's sad. A little girl's life is gone.
Gusts reaching 50 miles per hour have also caused nearly 500,000 power outages in the Seattle area. And what remains of Tropical Storm Erica is now heading toward Cuba and is expected to move into the Gulf of Mexico today. Parts of Haiti were hit hard on Friday and Saturday. 1 person died in a mudslide and 4 others were killed in traffic accidents caused by the storm. Residents are trying to dig out from under mountains of mud. And take a look at this unusual weather pattern. In the Pacific right now, there are 3 separate hurricanes, all of them powerful Category 4 storms. In the middle is Hurricane Ignacio. It is headed towards Hawaii. Residents are preparing for high winds, heavy rain, and surf up to 20 feet. The storm track shows it passing just north of the Big Island this week. Well, still ahead, Chris Christie's plan to track undocumented immigrants like packages in the mail. And police raid the apartment of the Bangkok bombing suspect, what they found, and why this investigation is far from over. Plus, a surfer tells us about her escape from a great white shark. It's one of 2 close encounters off the California coast this weekend. And Jerry Seinfeld's son gets squeezed out of his own lemonade stand. Why police had to shut it down.